Today, Justin, we're going to talk about the importance of the monthly payment and the budget more so than the interest rate. So why don't you fly on that and riff and tell us what's on your mind?
Yeah, no, I appreciate you guys having us again. It's good to be back. There's a lot of talk out there, a lot of dialogue asking probably one of the most common questions, is it a good time to buy? A lot of folks are talking about waiting for values to come down or for rates to come down. And one of the biggest things that I like to promote really is your monthly budget. At the end of the day, that drives the price point, really gives you a great opportunity to get in when maybe others are sitting on the sidelines.
Mm,
So, my advice to pretty much everybody out there that has that question is it a good time to buy or should I wait? Is the best time to buy is when you're ready. I mean, quite
hmm
simply, it really is. Work your budget, understand your budget. And if the rates are 2%, great. If the rates are 10%, not as great, but you're certainly within your budget when you buy. And then if the opportunity to refinance comes down the road, then you refinance and now you're in a position where you're actually under budget in a
hmm
home that's appreciating. And some interesting numbers over the last 11 years, home prices have risen consecutively. So that's 11
mm.
consecutive years of home values increasing. So think about those people that waited 3, 4, 5 years ago for values to crash and all the equity they lost, all that opportunity they missed out on by sitting on the sidelines.
The interest rate is not permanent, Justin. People think they're signing those loan documents, and that's my rate for 30 years. And you just mentioned the refinance. So do you broadcast to your audience there that hey, it might be a crappy rate right now, but in 2 years, 3 years, we could be in a much healthier position? Do folks understand that generally, or is it kind of like, oh, I this is my rate until 2054?
Yeah, I think when it's broken down and explained to them that way and they realize, that opportunity, they're educated properly, I
Mm,
think it clicks for most people. But I think, the average person that's out there listening to Mary and Joe, their mom, their friend, their sister, especially the media, I think, they might have a difficult time if they're just looking at it on its face, right? But when
mm.
you dig down a little bit, there's some interesting statistics. There's some interesting factors that come into play, and a lot of reasons why you wouldn't wait. And there's a common saying that I've been hearing a lot too: marry the house, date the rate. I'm
hmm
sure you've heard it, right?
hmm
Not necessarily a big fan of that
hmm
because it's tough to marry a house and date a rate on a payment you can't afford.
Correct.
Again, always reverts back to that monthly budget, that monthly payment.
In Rhode Island, back in we'll go to 2013, for example, the average house price was $205,000. Fast forward 11 years to today, it's 430. And I thought that was wild, but then I looked at Massachusetts for that same time frame. Okay, in 2013, their average price was 325, and now today, Justin, it's 600K.
Wow.
So it's a third higher in Mass than it is in Rhode Island. So are you seeing people that are coming from Massachusetts into Rhode Island? Do you think that that's also contributing to our, our crunch and our, limited supply?
Yeah, I think that's certainly a factor. I think really the biggest factor in what's limiting the inventory is the fact that the rates for current homeowners over the last 6, 7 years have been so low. So most folks, when they're looking to sell and acquire a new home, um, think about going to upgrade your property, right? First step, you buy a starter home, then you're going to upgrade your property. Most folks, knowing they're upgrading, can digest a $400 increase in monthly mortgage payment. They cannot digest a $1,200 increase in monthly mortgage payment. And
Right.
that's what you're seeing a lot of with the big gap in interest rate between what most folks have over the last 4, 5 years, 6 years, and what rates are like over the last really 12 months. Spiking up, really, really limited folks listing their homes, obviously limited inventory. We know there's not a lot of land, there's not a lot of places to build in Rhode Island. That's been an issue. So it's tough to supply inventory when folks aren't listing their homes and there's nowhere to build.